So now, changing the context in relation to Partha Sarathi temple. No, we just visited that holy place before coming over here. Now, the name itself, Partha Sarathi, sounds so good, beautiful. By wordings, by the way of wording, also by the way it sounds and by way of meanings. We all know what's the meaning of Partha Sarathi. Sarathi means driver. Partha means Partha, Arjuna. The driver of the chariot of Arjuna. In other words, the driver of Arjuna's cart, Arjuna's chariot. See, what kind of name, what kind of endearing name or endeared name Lord Krishna is called by. What type of beautiful, sweet name he is often called by. The driver, the chariot driver of his friend Partha. I repeat, the chariot driver of Partha. The sweet driver of the chariot of Partha, is Arjuna. Partha, the very name Partha came from Pritha, Kunti, Arjuna's mother. The name Partha also given to Arjuna, in connection with his mother's name, Pritha, Kunti. So, now in other words, that has been one of Lord Krishna's very sweet, lovely identities and characteristics and Leela, and names, beautiful names, Partha Sarathi, the chariot driver of his friend, his friend's Partha's chariot driver. Can you imagine? Supreme Lord willingly, lovingly took that position to become the driver of the chariot of his bosom friend, intimate friend Partha. And in that way, he became very happy. He was so happy, and his friend, his intimate friend Arjuna was also so much happy. They enjoyed each other a lot. They truly enjoyed each other's company, each other's association, beloved company a lot. One of the main reasons Lord Krishna and Arjuna gladly accepted this way, so that they could be spending more and more time together. Of course, Arjuna could have kept another Sarathi, another chariot driver easily, but it was Lord Krishna. It was Krishna, his intimate friend, beloved friend Krishna himself, who chose, who wanted to gladly accept that position of his chariot driver. It was his sweet desire, sweet will. And Arjuna, Partha accepted it as his merciful love, as Lord Krishna's very kind, merciful love, loving appreciation for him. So his joy also knew no boundaries. Partha's joy knew no bound. Having his beloved friend Krishna as his chariot driver, that way. So, and naturally during their driving, during their traveling by the chariot, they used to be having so much chat, continued chattings. They used to be having so much, some wonderful discussions, very interesting discussions between two beloved friends, Supreme Lord friend and his devotee friend. Oh, if all of those conversations or chats, what really took place during Krishna's chariot driving between Partha and Partha Sarathi would be recorded, it could be another wonderful scripture. It could have been another wonderful holy scripture. For some reason, all their chattings and conversations, during their traveling through chariot, not recorded much. But I am sure they did have many very most interesting and significant conversations and exchanges during their journey on chariot between two intimate friends. See, Arjuna means Partha was so happy, chariot was so happy, the horses were so happy, even the chariot, during Krishna's driving the chariot, the presence of Krishna and Arjuna up on the chariot, chariot also became living at some point. Chariot didn't stay just as simply as some material being, just chariot. All the parts, rolling wheels and the sitting places, all the parts of the chariots became alive, with their presence. Also connecting to Partha and Partha Sarathi both, they also became so happy. Shanta Rasa. Although chariot manifested in Shanta Rasa way, but they all became living. It became living. Can you imagine? So not only Partha and the horses became so happy with Krishna's presence, Partha Sarathi's presence, but chariot itself also became very, very happy. What to speak more of? Partha himself, Arjuna himself. It is one of the most wonderful, sweet pastimes, loved pastimes of Krishna in his life, to take the position, to happily, lovingly take the position of the driver of Arjuna's chariot, Partha's chariot. And Arjuna also loved that way. He took it as some intimate gesture, very intimate, beloved, friendly gesture from his beloved friend, Krishna. So thereafter, it became one of the well-renowned, famous names, very dearly, fondly famous names of Krishna as Partha Sarathi. not only name, it was one of the most dear leelas, okay, pastimes of Krishna, okay, as Partha Sarathi, conducted as Partha Sarathi, friend of Partha, beloved friend, beloved friendly driver, the chariot of Partha. Krishna has got several very cutely wonderful, beautiful names. You know, besides Partha Sarathi, has got another cute, wonderful name, Ranchor ji. Ranchor ji means who appear to be running away from the war field, battlefield, acting like, making a dramatic play like he was afraid. He was running away from the battlefield out of fear. But that was for having another cute pastime. He was not actually running away to really run away from the battle, but he was pulling in that way, he was pulling behind him, wanting to make his enemy, opponent, follow behind him, run behind him. He was running. And then he's making his opponent thinking, oh, he was running away, being afraid. So opponent also felt very encouraged to run behind him, to catch hold him. And then at some point he took that opponent, the enemy, in such a situation, like big trap, the Krishna's big planning, cute planning. He drew his enemy in such a location, a position, such a situation, then he could easily defeat that enemy. Enemy didn't realize that he was running away not out of fear, out of a strategy, out of a battle strategy, okay, to make that enemy run behind him, and he was having a great fun. Krishna was having a great fun making his enemy running behind him, playing for a while like that, like he did that in case of Kaljaban, you know, Kaljaban. Then finally he took him, he pulled him by making him follow him. Finally he brought him to that mountain cave where King Muchukunda was in a deep slumber, empowered with a boon that anybody who would disturb his sleep, wake him up, okay, before the prescribed time, before the prescribed recommended time, fixed time of his waking up. Anybody who would be disturbing, breaking his sleep, okay, before his sleep was complete, he would be burnt into ashes as soon as you look at him or her. So he was empowered with that kind of boon, and then that he was empowered by the demigods with that kind of boon, and then went into slumber. Lord Krishna knew about that. So he was a playful Lord. He thought, he's too little for me to handle with. Why should I? He became a playfully drew his enemy following him, running behind him. Finally, Lord Krishna suddenly hid in that cave. He entered that cave, and you know, Kaljaban also entered into that same cave, following Krishna. Then Krishna, all of a sudden, he hid himself on a certain corner in that cave, mountain cave. But in front of him, he found, as soon as Kaljaban entered, he did not find Krishna anywhere. in front of him found a tall man laying down, covered up. He thought that was Krishna trying to hide in that way to mislead Kaljavan, thinking he was a sleeping man, nothing to do with him, to mislead him. Then he said, "Oh, Kaljavan, oh, you think that you can hide away, you can escape from me in this way, acting in this way, sleeping, acting like sleeping, doing drama with me. Think I don't understand." Then he directly, without even opening the cover of the face, without even thinking, without even checking who is that person actually, he strongly kicked. He immediately kicked King Muchukunda, slapped King Muchukunda heavily. He kicked him so strongly. I think he kicked him a couple of times. Then Muchukunda woke up from sleep with the eyes full of anger. As soon as he looked at Kaljavan, immediately got burnt into ashes. Then, thereafter, Lord Krishna came out. Lord Krishna came out of the hidden place in order to give darshana to King Muchukunda. Then, as soon as King Muchukunda saw Krishna, had darshan of Krishna, his eyes, mind, heart, whole existence became so soothed and so tasteful with nectar. He experienced, so he had a great experience of being so soothed all through his existence, throughout his body, mind, spirit. And thereafter, he experienced some nectarian bliss, nectarian taste upon seeing beautiful Lord Krishna before his eyes. Krishna also wanted to give his darshana to Muchukunda. That was his another purpose of the Leela, to come to that mountain cave, not only to kill Kaljavan, not only to destroy that demon, but also to give darshana to Muchukunda and thus blessing him, with his wonderful darshan. As soon as Muchukunda saw beautiful Lord Krishna, had his darshana, his mind, his body, mind, spirit, soul, all his existence became filled with bliss, all filled and inundated, with ambrosial blissfulness. And then instantly, then and there, almost instantly, he started narrating the glories of Lord Krishna, started describing the beautiful glories of Lord Krishna one after another. Muchukunda, he felt so blessed, so filled with infinite gratitude, filled with unlimited loving gratitude for such benevolent grace, for so much benevolent grace and mercy of Lord Krishna, to let him see him, to give him his wonderful darshana. And thereafter, King Muchukunda was liberated. Simply received a life of ambrosial liberation, nectarine liberation, in Krishna consciousness, in pure divine Krishna consciousness. Now back to the point. See, this way Krishna has got several cute, wonderfully cute names. And one of that also Ranchor. Ranchor means, okay, one who runs away from the battlefield. A Lord running away from the battlefield as if afraid, as if, not really as if afraid, making a big drama, making a big dramatic play of running away from the battlefield as if became so afraid. Ranchor. Then Madana-mohan, another beautiful name, Madana-mohan, wonderful name. See, once it so happened, the God of love, I mean relatively the God of love, God of beauty, the Cupid, who is called as Madana by other name, became very proud, became full, became very puffed up, became filled with so much pride that nobody can be as beautiful as he. Nobody can be as handsome as he, as lovable as he. Of course, Madana, Kamadeva Madana is none other than an incarnation, a beautiful extension or expansion of Krishna. The Supreme Madana, Supreme Kamadeva is Krishna, actually. And the other Kamadeva we talk about, God of beauty and love, Cupid, that's actually an extension, considered an extension or incarnation of Krishna. But this actual Supreme Kamadeva is none other than Krishna himself. But this incarnated, Krishna's extension Kamadeva had some pride. In other words, this expanded form of Kamadeva, extended form of Kamadeva, or incarnation of Krishna, incarnated form of Kamadeva, had a great pride, that pride like that he is the supreme, supremely beautiful, supremely handsome, supremely lovable, supremely attractive. But then, in order to break that pride, once Lord Krishna decided to even charm him helplessly. Lord Krishna appeared before him and charmed him so helplessly, deeply attracted even the heart, mind and heart, full mind and heart of that Kamadeva, Madana, so much that he became irresistibly helplessly charmed by Krishna's beauty, most wonderful, unlimited beauty, handsomeness, qualities, his loveliness, loving attractions. And then he became totally charmed, stunned, so charmed like stunned, paralyzed kind of, so much charmed, became like stunned, filled with bliss, nectarine pleasure, nectarine bliss of that charm from the Krishna. Then, after having that experience, he realized, oh, I am not the final, I am not the supreme. Krishna is actually, not Krishna, is actually the supreme Kamadev. I am a part. I am just an extension of him. So from that Leela, Krishna was known as Madana-mohan, one the Supreme, who even helplessly charmed, irresistibly charmed the Madana, the god of beauty and love, Madana-mohan. Anyway, back to the point. I can go on explaining other cute names, but in no time. As I can look at the devotee's face, see if they are becoming so peaceful. They are so peaceful, so happy, they are being so relaxed. And due to the great effect of peacefulness, some positive sleeping energy influencing them, they are loving to sleep at this moment. Maybe Harikatha, listening to Harikatha is good, but sleeping is better. Or listening to Harikatha in resting mode is like ambrosia to them. Back to the point of Partha Sarathi. You know, the whole appearance, manifestation of Bhagavad Gita Leela, also connected to the Leela of Partha Sarathi, isn't it? Lord Krishna was driving Arjuna, by his chariot in the middle of the two groups of the soldiers. In the middle of the two groups of soldiers, armies, two troops, Pandavas and Kauravas. See? So the very manifestation of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, very appearance Leela of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, connected to that Lord Krishna who was Partha Sarathi. The Supreme Lord who led Arjuna, guided Arjuna throughout the whole dangerous Kuruksetra war happenings was Partha Sarathi. Partha Sarathi, the great protector come guardian Lord. Greatly friendly. In other words, great protector come guardian Lord, but very friendly. Belovedly friendly Lord, driving the chariot as a great protector of Arjuna, Partha Sarathi. Therefore it has been described in a Mangala Charanam of Bhagavad Gita. How it starts. Anybody remembers the Mangala Charanam of Bhagavad Gita? I will remember. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitang Sik. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitang Bhagavata Narayanina Swayam. Vyasena Gratitang Purana Munina Madhya Mahabharati. Advaitamrita Varshining Bhagavati Mastadashadhyayinim Mamvatvamanusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhagavate Namaste. Mamvatvamanusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Namaste. This way. Starting with Om Parthaya Pratibodhitang Bhagavata Narayanina Swayam. So, the Supreme Lord who began to pacify and be directing Partha with so much loving as a loving guide, as so much loving guide, loving guardian. When Partha or Arjuna found himself in a great miserable distress, in miserable situation in the war field of Kuruksetra, where he had to fight, where he found himself to be fighting with his own close relatives. Okay, so Partha Arjuna was in a very sad, heartbreaking situation. Kurukshetra war field. Oh, so and at that point, and he felt so much pain. He was so much pain and disappointed, so much frustrated that he had to fight in such battlefield. Then in order to uphold, in order to be upholding, the dharma, the principle of dharma, higher values of the dharma, of protecting the good against the evil, protecting the good against the evil, Lord Krishna began to be pacifying Arjuna Partha and encouraging him, inspiring him with higher power, holy power, and to become normal. Thus qualifying him with holy, infinite, holy, heroic power, infinitely heroic power with all noble, with noble feelings. And who was that Lord? Partha Sarathi. None other than Partha Sarathi. A chariot driver of his friend now became a great protective guardian in Kuruksetra war field. When Lord Krishna willingly took such position before Arjuna, sometimes when the enemies were launching or releasing their arrows, sometimes it was piercing Krishna. He was in the front. It was hitting Krishna and then hitting Arjuna. Many places on several occasions, while that Partha Sarathi Krishna, while that Lord Partha Sarathi found, my friend Arjuna cannot tackle this Brahmastra like Vaishnavastra launched by Bhagadatta in Kuruksetra war field. Okay. For example, or like when Karna launched Ekagni arrow, Ekagni ban. Krishna Partha Sarathi immediately felt, my friend is beyond the ability of my friend to tackle such weapons, such Brahmastra, empowered, miraculously empowered with some unlimited force. In other words, Krishna knew ultimately these astras are coming from me. They are my astras, Narayani astra, Vaishnava astra, like that. The my astra, so I know them very well because they are so empowered with my potency, with my power. It's difficult. It is beyond Arjuna's ability, beyond Arjuna's capacity, to tackle them. So upon knowing that, when such weapons are launched towards Arjuna, to kill Arjuna, what Lord Partha Sarathi did, he simply expanded himself. He simply expanded his body, his form, just in front of Arjuna, before Arjuna, and absorbed those Brahmastra within him. And just they got diluted in Krishna. That's how, Okay, during that time, Karna launched a big arrow, non-fallible, non-fallible arrow, non-defeatable arrow called Ekagni. Then what Krishna did, all of a sudden, he, by taking the Vishwambhara form, very heavy form, all of a sudden, he let the chariot get down, get down into the earth. And also he signaled the horses in such a way. Horses sat down and the chariot wheels pushed down in the earth. So Karna's arrow became, Karna's arrow, the arrow, that dangerous arrow, which was aimed to cut off the head of Arjuna. Behead Arjuna, became aimless, lost its aim, lost the aim, and it cut off the crown of the Arjuna and went away. It was Lord Krishna, Lord Partha Sarathi, who saved Arjuna's life. Also at that time, on several occasions, Lord Partha Sarathi directly saved Arjuna's life by absorbing his own astra within himself, by letting that dangerous arrow launched by Karna becoming aimless. How do you call in English? To fail to pierce the aim, aimless, and in this way, then Arjuna looked at Krishna, saying, "Why do you have to do that? Could I not tackle? You do not have faith in me? Don't trust me enough? Don't you have enough faith in me that I could tackle such weapon? You are embarrassing me." Sometimes Arjuna would say, "Embarrassing me. You consider I am not a really big hero to tackle?" Krishna would have turned to Arjuna and smiled at him. "No, my friend. No, my dear friend. You could not tackle such weapons. They're more powerful than your power. So I had to take care of." Then Arjuna thought, "My God, then what would happen if my friend hadn't been there? If my friend wouldn't be here as my chariot driver, then what would happen to me? I would be killed." Arjuna was full of loving gratitude, filled with loving gratitude often towards his beloved friend as Partha Sarathi. See? So what happened? Thereafter, Arjuna became so used to it. Partha became so habituated with having Lord Krishna as his chariot driver. In case sometimes Krishna would not be there to do that, Arjuna would be missing greatly. He would be greatly missing. He would feel empty. Why my friend is not there as my driver? So, from Arjuna, actually, the way Arjuna considered his friend's benevolent, intense presence there as his chariot driver, actually as the driving force in his life, driving principle, leading principle, not like a cart driver, in ordinary sense, not like, oh, my cart driver or car driver. Rather Arjuna accepted that. He very happily took it as great honor that he got some guardian, he got such a guardian friend, such a lovingly caretaking friend, powerful friend, okay, to lead him as his director, okay, in the form of driver, his chariot driver. Like driving the Arjuna in his, like a leader in Arjuna's, okay, like he was actually leading Arjuna's life, guiding, driving him, meaning directing him in that way, directing him carefully, with all love and care, directing him through the right path of life, right path and right road of life. So Arjuna took him as that kind of driver. So it was also very significant. Such Leela has got inner meaning, significant inner meanings, not just like common chariot driver, right? But much deeper significance in relation to Arjuna. That the Partha was being led by, guided by, directed by, driven by his beloved Lord friend, Partha Sarathi. You know, Krishna, not only that Krishna and Arjuna had very beloved, intimate, friendly relations, but Krishna, that Partha Sarathi and Draupadi, one of Arjuna's wives, also had very special, intimate, friendly relations between them. In other words, Draupadi and Krishna had very intimate, beloved, friendly relations. That Partha Sarathi, so intimately friend, such an intimate friend to Partha Arjuna, he even wanted Arjuna to marry his sister Subhadra, and he arranged everything accordingly, even apparently against the will of his elder brother Baladev. Another beautiful Leela, another sweet Leela, apparently even against the will of his elder brother Baladev in Dwaraka. Lord Krishna arranged very cleverly and intelligently, very nicely arranged to develop a love relationship between Arjuna and his beloved sister Subhadra, and to bring them together, and ultimately wanted his intimate friend Arjuna and his sister, wanted both of them to marry each other. It was all arranged by Lord Krishna. So today it is our humble prayer, it's our special humble prayer to the Lord Partha Sarathi. Would you mercifully also be our guide, our leader, our director of the chariot of our lives, and direct towards yourself, my Lord, my beloved Lord. Would you be so kind and compassionate, merciful to us to take up your position, take up such your guardians and protectors and directors' position in the chariot of my eternal life, to direct the whole chariot of my life, to direct myself towards you, to be engaged in your devotional service, to be engaged, eternally engaged in your loving devotional service by having an intimately devoted, devotional, friendly love relationship with you, my beloved Master, my beloved Lord. Would you be so merciful, so compassionate to me and to us? Likewise, as you became in relation to your dearmost friend Arjuna. That should be our very humble prayer, our very sincere, heartfelt prayer to the Lord Partha Sarathi. Without whom Arjuna, Partha always felt everything, whole life is just empty and empty. It was a wonderful experience. It was a wonderful experience in Arjuna's life. Because previously he knew, although he really knew, but at the same time he did not fully know about whether that his bosom, that his beloved friend is Supreme God or not. Then he started placing his queries, questions to him in such a way that his supreme beloved friend, some point he had to show him his Virata Rupa, universal form. In order to convince his friend Partha Sarathi, Krishna, showed Arjuna, made Arjuna mystically, wonderfully behold his universal form. And then at some point, it was so that universal form of Partha Sarathi, Lord Partha Sarathi, was so grand, so magnanimous, so magnificent, so great, so big, so powerful. Partha, Arjuna could not take it. He simply could not take it. He started begging him to withdraw that universal form. It is too big, too powerful, too magnificent for him. He cannot take it anymore. He humbly requested him to withdraw that form and come back again in his sweet, beloved friend's form. Sweetly beloved form of his friend as Partha Sarathi. Arjuna implored him at one point. Then, accepting his request, his imploring, Lord Krishna again came back. He withdrew his universal form and reappeared in that sweet, beautiful, friendly form, Partha Sarathi. Then Arjuna was relieved. Arjuna Partha was so much relieved, felt so much happy and blissful. Now with the understanding, this my Partha Sarathi, this my beloved friend is none other than Supreme Lord, Supreme God. Krishna. But although for certain moments, for some time, Arjuna Partha's heart was so filled with awe and reverence upon seeing Vishwarupa. And thereafter, when Krishna withdrew that form, universal form, and came back, reappeared before Arjuna in the very sweet, beloved form of Partha Sarathi. So, although Arjuna still, He was vividly remembering, so alive in his memory about the universal form. His mind and heart was so filled with reverence, but still immediately, as soon as he found Lord Krishna in the beautiful Partha Sarathi form, so much ocean, the big ocean of friendly love, ocean of pure love of friendship, again inundated, captured the whole existence of Arjuna. And Arjuna again could relate to that Supreme Lord, Supreme Almighty Lord, with his oceanic love mood of friendship. Oceanic love of friendship, friendly love. Again, and he felt so much, Arjuna Partha again felt so much oceanic love of Krishna in the pure mood of friendship that his awe and reverence So in the holy place, in this auspicious most, in this most holy place of Sri Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, we all are humbly praying for His divine mercy to be bestowed on all of us. Please, being blessed, we all are praying to be blessed by His divine grace and mercy, and to be ultimately qualified to be engaged in the eternal loving devotional services to Gaura Nityananda Gadadhara, Radha Krishna Chandra, Radha Madana-mohan Govinda Gopinath. With this, I am putting my Harikatha to rest herein. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.